Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Factorio, not 15. I'm Liz. Last time we started building our logistics smeltery. I have it in its current shape finished. This is not finished, but this is what I wanted for now. We have one bank of steel up top that is 40 steel furnaces with 40, iron ones as well. Down here we have our 40 of iron, also 40 of iron, so two banks of iron over here in the staggered setup. I did notice something about this setup that I might change, and now that we're on logistics furnaces here, we can change the smeltery very easily. All we need to do is rip this one out and replace it, or even just rip parts of it out and replace it. And what I noticed is what we could do, what I have here is I have an output and an input for every one of them, above or below it, because of the stagger, and that allowed me to put these sort of staggered electric poles, but the staggered electric poles really mess with my OCD a lot, because look at this catastrophe of a mess in here. And what I after 2 seconds of looking came to the conclusion on is that we could have, if we put right here, where this passive provider chest is, the requester chest, and we request in a lot of iron ore, so let's say we request in 200 or 300 or whatever iron ore, then we could actually pull out of that chest with both smelteries. So this one's inserter would be here, and this one's inserter would be here, and then we can output from this smeltery into here. Then this one would need an output, which would go right here, so where this requester chest is, it would output into that. Or it could output on the outside. That's possible too. We could do that. And then that means there would be a 2x2 space available in every one of these lower banks. So everywhere down the line, there would be a 2x2 space available, which either here or here. Assuming the electric pole wasn't there, which incidentally is exactly what we need in order to fit a substation. And it would basically take care of the entire power situation here, so I might reconfigure this smeltery a little bit with its power delivery and where the chests are so that I can get substations in there just to make it one clean row of substations all the way across, instead of these medium poles that stagger back and forth and do all kinds of nonsense. Because, take a look up here. Nice. Straight through. I mean, we've got those stupid medium poles on the ends of it, but, we could correct that. But, it's not a big deal. It's not really going to help the throughput on this at all. It's just, interesting idea. Also, a few fewer logistics chests as a result of that. Take a look at this. Wow. Lots of robots charging, even though I have many, many roboports for them to charge. Why is that the case? Well, that's the case because I have 11,558 robots. I should have about 1,000 of them not in use right now, but there's a lot of them charging. I'm really not sure about this worker robot battery upgrade. I get the feeling that I just feel like they're taking longer to charge as well. So yeah, sure, we have currently 60% more battery in our dudes, but they also take 60% more time to charge. And if that's the case, then I don't know. I'm not sure about that. The jury is still out on that one. I haven't decided yet. But I might add in some more roboports to take care of the situation. I have over a gigawatt of power generation on solar right now. I don't actually need it, I guess, so I'm not using it. Or it's currently decreasing or something. I don't know. But I do have over a gigawatt of power generation on solar right now, as long as they're all connected. Yeah, they're all connected, so we definitely have it. So we have increased that. If we actually take a look at it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 10 plus 10 is 22. So 22 of these little banks of solar power. I want to highlight that that is 220 of these. This is 10 times as much if it was using conventional solar at this point. So 10 times as much. 1, 2, if I landfilled a little bit, that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically, that would fill this in, this entire area that I'm boxing in right here with solar panels. Otherwise, that's enough to like almost encircle my base with solar panels if we were doing this the vanilla way. But no, we aren't. We are doing this with advanced electric for a reason, you know? So what things have we been working on since last time? You saw, ooh, big battle going on up here. And check out those gun turrets. Yeah. These gun turret Mark IIs just rip them to shreds loaded with uranium ammo. And you can see we are all loaded up with uranium ammo now. So that's awesome. What have we been working on? In addition to just building out our power, which has sort of been a major objective lately, I tapped this copper outpost down here. And we actually tapped it with ultimate mining drills, so the top tier mining drill. They mine ridiculously fast. Like, you can see the count going up on the right there. Like, this outpost will be capable of ripping this patch apart, all dependent on the rate that we can actually pull the stuff out of it at. What else have we done? We don't have any new uranium tapped. We didn't really tap any other new resources, I don't think. I don't think I did any new iron or anything. Big attack coming in up here as well, it looks like. And once these gun turrets start shooting, these things just die. Like, even the behemoths, like, look at that. Those were behemoths, and they just die as soon as those gun turrets start shooting. I don't think there's anything else out on the peripheries that we really changed. But inside of the base, there were a few things that we reconfigured. So, train stations here, I was running into the problem that we didn't have enough. Now that we have the smelting throughput, I was instantly eating all of the copper and iron that was arriving, and I needed more trains, but the trains couldn't unload because their stations were always occupied. So I doubled up the train and the copper, and iron stations. There's now iron and copper up here, and then down here at the bottom where I had those 2 extra stations, I made an iron and copper station as well down here. They're identical to the ones up here, named the same, so trains will go, to whatever is available when it's available. What we're sort of starting to experience here, though, is we built this combined train station that all of our trains go into early on because it's good. It's convenient early when you don't have a ridiculous amount of trains. But it has problems like this, where this uranium train just waited for like 5 or 6 seconds to get out. And there's a copper train waiting to get in, and, well, maybe it's not. Maybe both of the copper banks are, both the copper banks are occupied. But I run into situations, another copper train, where there's a number of trains in the stacker that do actually want to get in. They're not just waiting for their banks to open up. Like, look, this guy wants to get out. This guy wants to get out. These 2 are waiting to get in. This guy wants to get out. So I have 2 sets of copper that don't have a train in them right now because they're trying to leave, and I have 2 sets of copper waiting to get in. And it happens with mixed resources as well. So now the iron is here. What if the coal was waiting? What if the coal had to wait for 2 minutes to get in and we ended up running out of, well, we're not going to run out of coal, but let's just illustrate that as a possibility. So I think the next big step in improving our train throughput is going to be segregated stations, at least for the iron and the copper. So the idea is we have 3 stations, let's say. We have 1 station that handles everything in air quotes except for iron and copper. Everything else comes into it, though, and it has its own stacker, just like this. Then we have a separate station with its own stacker that is for iron, and then a separate station again with its own stacker that is for copper. If we set it up that way, then copper trains will always come into the copper station. Maybe I've got like 3 copper stations built on the copper one, right? And a stacker that can hold like, 6 trains. So that's a total of 9 trains that could be in the station at once. Maybe we need to build more than that. It all depends on how many copper trains we have, or same with iron and so on and so forth. But then they'll always get in and get out and get in and get out. Like, they'll never be waiting on something else sitting in here. And the fewer numbers of stations means fewer trains just doing this while other trains are trying to get in. Now see, this iron train can't get out because a copper train is trying to get in. Now, is he going to get out, or is a uranium train going to come? Nope, he is going to get out, but now the uranium train has been waiting. Although the uranium train has no uranium, so that is a good sign to me that this outpost up here, yeah, it's totally mined out. Looks like I can take this apart and cut that train. Is it actually going to load up? It didn't even load up on coal. If I let this keep running, it's actually going to run out of fuel because it never stops at base currently. Okay, so that's a little bit of what we've been working on. This coal patch is almost mined out. This patch is almost mined out. So we are bringing in stuff by the train now. We still have uranium coming in. We still have it belting from up here as well, although 1.8 thousand will be done with very soon. The oil situation, we are going to need to expand soon. I've tapped every single piece of crude here, and we are keeping up now. And not only did I tap them, I actually put speed modules in every one of these pump jacks as well. No reason not to speed module pump jacks. You can even actually put beacons down to speed module them even harder, because when they fully deplete, they don't ever stop. So you can actually really ramp up the amount that you get from them with speed modules. Productivity modules used to be the way to go early on when you still generate a lot from them to stop them from drying up quicker, but you know, whatevs. Whatevs. We got what we got. Our oil setup is fully moduled right now with speed. I don't have them beaconed. We will be beaconing them and putting productivity modules in them eventually. And we need this to keep up with battery production now, which is also speed moduled. The reason we wanted battery production is because I needed batteries to make those accumulators. We have 252. Okay, so I can lay down 2 more sets of panels right now. That's good. Anything else really special that I need to cover here? I think everything else you're sort of up to date on. So, we got in this logistics smeltery, like phase 1 of the logistics smeltery, which I might tweak, as I said. And I have bots set to bring things to requester warehouses here that are running belts out to our old-fashioned line of assembly machines for gear wheels and circuits and all of that kind of stuff. I think now we're in a good spot for bots. We're in a good spot for all kinds of stuff, and I think we're in a good spot for modules as well. Let's just take a quick peek here. Productivity 3s, I have 150 of them in there, and I already had 150 of them, so we have 100, 200, almost 300 productivity modules. And then I have about 55 speed 3s on me, and there's 309 more in here. So we're in a good spot for speed and productivity modules. They're not going to go in the furnaces, the productivity modules, and we're not putting the speeds in the steel furnaces yet. What they're going to go towards is circuits and probably iron gear wheels, but I don't actually have something built for that yet. So let's go down south real quick and productivity module up our circuits so that I can take a new blueprint of them with the modules in them. Oh, I did it already. Cool. Awesome sauce. I've actually already put the modules in. So what I need to do is take new blueprints of all of these, and we're going to go stamp them down. Now, I noted earlier that these don't tile vertically because the substations, this substation would actually have to be up one for that to happen. I don't mind that. I am fine with substations literally sitting next to each other when I tile these. They will tile horizontally just fine, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, so I'm going to take new blueprints of these, and we're going to rip out the stuff that we have up north here. I'll be back once this is a little bit more settled. But you know what? First thing we're going to do is cut the requests on these warehouses, because I want to sort of drain these warehouses. In fact, I should probably just let time go for a little bit and just drain these warehouses. It shouldn't take that long. I use materials really freaking fast right now. Like, check that out. That's getting insane. That's 4,000 that just disappeared out of nowhere. Iron a little bit slower, but we're still using iron at a good clip as well. Okay, so I'm going to let these warehouses drain, and then I'm going to start taking apart the circuits, and I'll be back soon. While we're at it, we should just take some notes here. Before everything drains... Oh, yeah, alright, let's get across those train lines. Before everything drains out of the system, let's just verify... Yeah, green circuits are working at pretty much capacity. They stall every now and then, but take a look at this. We have 2 saturated red belts coming out of them, so they're working pretty much at capacity. Like, they're not backed up on any of their lines, and the belts that come out are saturated, so the fact that they stall for a second means nothing. We don't actually need them to not stall. So we're at basically maximum green circuit production, and we are producing 5.5 thousand. So let's just let's make a quick note of this. 5.5 thousand green circuits. We are producing about 750, 800, we'll say, red circuits at the moment. Let's go back over the last 10 minutes. 5.5 thousand green circuits, 815 red circuits, and 118 blue circuits, basically over the last 10 minutes. And I'm fairly confident that production has been mostly steady. Red circuits, we definitely don't saturate this belt, so these aren't working because we're not actually using all the red circuits. But we're pretty close to maximum production on that. And blue circuits we've been producing at max rate for a long time now. We just can't keep up on those. So that's about what it is. A little over 100 blue circuits, a little over 800 of these guys, and like 5,500 green circuits. Let's just keep those numbers in mind, because that's what we're going to be comparing to on the logistics system. See you soon. Okay, now comes one of the funnest parts of Factorio. I just put these as active providers to help drain them faster. So they just dump some iron into these storage warehouses and copper, and everything will be fine. It'll end up using it for other stuff. But for now, we're going to rip out the belted stuff. One of the funnest parts of Factorio is ripping apart your base that you have put so much work into. So let's just go straight through here. Let my bots do some of the work. Let the base bots do some of the work. It's no big deal. Rip it apart. We just want to double check that we're not ripping apart anything that I don't want to take apart. So basically we're just going to take everything here apart. All of the circuit stuff, all of the belts that feed up into them, all of this stuff. And we are going to switch over to a logistics style of handling this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull apart all the stuff on the bus. I'm going to pull apart all of these factories up here. Stash all the stuff in warehouses. And I'll be back once we have a clean slate to work with. See you soon. Alright, take a look at that. It's been a while since we've had empty terrain up here. So I'm going to take this opportunity to fix up some of the substations along this former bus of ours. I also took the opportunity to fix up how we had 7 things here. We're going to use these for roboports in the future and also running across. So I just cleaned that up a little bit. So our substation situation needs to look something a little bit more like this. And we're just going to correct that the whole way down. And this might create some very weird looking interactions with the electric poles down below. I'm okay with that for the time being. I will come back and I will fix it with, you know, an eye on electric pole OCD in the future. But for now, I just want to get them evenly placed accordingly. There we go. And the reason for this is because, and I don't want to use like large electric poles and stuff like that, is again, lighted substations give off light. And substations have this convenient thing where they are exactly the distance apart where I want to have lights. So it's perfect. Actually, that wasn't too bad. It did interfere a little bit on the lower portion, and up here is kind of screwed up. But otherwise, the power connections didn't go too bad for us. Okay. So, next, we're going to start laying down our circuit builds, and we're going to start right on over here. And let's begin with some greens, shall we? I mean, if we have to move these, we can move them really easily. Okay, so these are green circuits. I want the circuit on the bottom, and I'm pretty sure we're just going to go right up butted against this. This makes sense to me. So let's just start laying our shit down, shall we? Are there no speed modules in those? It looks like there's no speed modules in those beacons. Nope, there definitely are. Never mind. So how many of these are we going to want to tile? I'm not certain yet. How about we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going to tile vertically as well, but I want to see what my space is for red circuits and blue circuits before I get to that. So at this point, They're the same width all the way across, so that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, we're going to go 5 more, so we're going to have 10 green circuits across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks good to me. And we're gonna go deep as well. Like this isn't the extent of what we're doing here, so never you worry about that. But these are gonna get up and running right away, start producing us some circuits. Looks like I don't quite have enough beacons placed here. It is in construction radius, and we should have all of the parts that we need. Yep, I just needed to wait for bots to come from the base network. That's fine. Come on. Lay that last one so that my bots can put speed modules in it. There we go. And then my bots will take that over. Bam, done. Okay, so these are producing at crafting speed 5.5, which is plus 340 crafting speed. And we can see here, check that shit out. We are producing very, very quickly. Productivity modules are adding quite a few extra things into this. It's almost precisely 1-to-1 thanks to productivity modules. And are they all producing basically as close to non-stop as we can right now? Yellow is fine. Red is what we're worried about. We do get red occasionally. Why? Not enough iron. Okay, how much iron am I actually requesting into each of these, out of curiosity? 100 in that one and 100 in this one. So 200 iron, and it's in 2 chests. Yeah, you know, that's just a matter of supplying it. So I'm not going to do anything about that yet. We might correct that a little bit in the future, but now that this has been running for, you know, about a minute, let's go to the 1 minute count. We're producing 8.2 thousand per minute. 8,000, yeah, right about 8,000 it looks like in our 5-second count. Looks like it's dropping just slightly, but it's around 8,000. Good. That's significantly more than the 5.5 thousand that we were producing before, so that's pretty sweet. Also, we've got these passive provider chests. We're going to store up a good number of these green circuits and send them out there. So, this is going to be building deep as well. This is not the only bank of these that we're going to build, but that's the first little bit. Now, we need to get into some red circuits. So let's get those going. Red circuits come next, and they're going to tile right next to these green guys, right in here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'd have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for blues. Am I okay with just 5 of these? I mean, like I say, they're gonna go deep, but I need red circuits, right? I mean, I'm gonna need red circuits. And we do produce green circuits on the blue circuit build, so actually, you know, what we could do is go further here and then have blue circuits, instead of going deep with blue circuits, have blue circuits just go long, because I ripped out the entire science section. No, I still want to start doing science up in here. I just want to change the way we're doing it a little bit. Okay, so these guys are not in the logistics system right now. That's okay. We're going to stick roboports all the way through here. Again, I said that we can't technically tile vertically, so why not take that opportunity to just stick roboports all the way through, right? In fact, we should do that now, because if we don't, we are not going to be able to place all this stuff. So let's just place an entire bank of roboports. I'm actually considering 2 banks of roboports, but I don't know yet. We'll see. That'll get these guys up and running. Everything should be configured correctly for this. Yep. Now the copper cables should never be a problem here. Why is plastic an issue right now? I'm requesting 100 of it. I don't actually have plastic going into a storage device, do I? I don't, not yet. Are these roboports currently connected, or did I disconnect them in the whole shafuffle. They are currently connected. Okay. So what we're going to do is give ourselves a passive provider storehouse for the time being. We'll fix this later, but just for now, to get stuff in here, we're going to load that on up and just load up as much plastic as we can make, basically, in this guy. I do have some in the warehouses here still, too. We shouldn't discount that. I have 3,000 plastic in warehouses, so it's not like we were out of it or anything. It's just, you know, I didn't have a ton of it in the system, and I wasn't producing new stuff. So this is running pretty solid. These guys don't produce nearly enough. Like, this is way overkill on the copper cable for one of these machines. The reason we're doing this is because I wanted a module that is exactly the same as the green circuit module. We could have actually built like a long row of them and used like interweaving copper and assembly and copper and red circuit builds, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted it all to be nice and steady. We don't need this much copper coming in, that's for sure. Not for these guys. Maybe for these ones, but definitely not for those ones. Anyway, they're running pretty solid. So let's take a quick peek at production right now. With just these 5, we are at only 400. So that definitely doesn't cut it. Yeah, that doesn't cut it. But to be fair, I had, what, 6, 12, 18, 24, 24 times 3. So I'm pretty sure it was 24 times 3. So we had like 72 production facilities doing this before, and now we have 5. So there was a significant difference in that, but I mean, these are going quite a bit quicker. We have plus 340%. And productivity on top of that. Well, we're going to build more of those, but we're going to get there when the time comes. Now let's tile down our blue. Oh, these aren't going to line up for blues, are they? Because, yeah, that's kind of shitty. That's kind of really shitty, actually. Okay, so that's where that is. Will these ever line up nicely? Because the blue ones are deeper. So if I do start putting in some blues here, then those roboports are not going to line up nicely for us. And in fact, the tiling is going to get all screwed up. So Mr. End Roboport, I'm going to take you apart. And we're going to start dropping in some blues. Unless, do I want to put a space between the blues? I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, let's just think about this for a second. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've decided to actually extend the reds out to 10. So it's 10 deep or 10 long, just like the greens are 10 long. And I figured where I had the science section before is where I'll stick the blues, and I can extend the blues out a few more banks this way without taking up any space that I don't already have unoccupied. Up here, we did actually, even though this is sort of staggered here, it doesn't quite line up properly with everything. It does, because we share these beacons with the blues, it does actually create a situation where the beacons line up perfectly with it, so that's fine. That is perfectly happy. No problem there at all. And the same would happen here if we kept, you know, well, if we had something that was longer again that we stuck here, the same thing would happen. So I'm okay with that. That tiling sort of works okay for me. I don't know how much this produces in blue circuits yet, because, well, I don't have an official count on it yet, at least, because I don't have sulfuric acid coming in. So let's run the sulfuric line back down here. I pulled it to take care of all this, because I knew it wouldn't be running in the same location. Just like this lube is not going to run in the same location anymore, so let's just pull it out while we're at it and be done with it, shall we? We will replumb this lube in the future, but for now, let's just, you know, yank this stuff. Sulfuric acid should be right up here. Yeah, I was pulling it from here before. This is where the lube is coming from. I think I want to pull it from right here now, though. because I do want to get it in this section over here. So what we're going to do is undo that, put this in here, drop you right there like so, and we're just going to plumb our sulfuric in, and we want it to be like right there basically. So do that, and yep, that's exactly where we want sulfuric. Let's put it, where should we put these? Let's make a uniform like standard here. Okay, so I can't do that. I can't get it from one substation to the next. That's unfortunate. But what can I do? Maybe can I do it from here? Like 2 things in to 1, 2 here, something like that. Yeah, I think that works perfectly fine. So we'll do the exact same thing here. And we'll do it, no, that's 1 too short. This is at its maximum distance, so we should never have a problem with that. Is it? No, it's not at its maximum distance. It's 1 less than max. Is that right then? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, indeed, it is. Well, what we could do is actually just blueprint this, and then we wouldn't have any issues at all, right? Let's run like so, to there. This is giving me a headache lining this up where I need to go every time. Trying to do this on precise tiles is really weird because normally you lay these... Oh crap, I am way too far out, aren't I? Yeah, okay, so we actually want to feed it in like right here or right here or something. Okay, so let's pull back a little bit. And I need to run it under here, but I kind of should have had it on the other tile over then, shouldn't I? Yeah, probably. Well, rather than running it the entire way around, we are going to do a little cheatsy doodle like that. And we're going to run it under and in like so. Pull that pipe out because we don't need it anymore. Pull this pipe out because I'm not extending this just yet. We got to remember to add that in if we do extend it. And now we are producing processing units. Congratulations, everybody. So those 2 red inserters don't quite keep up on the green circuits. That's fascinating. I thought 2 of them working in tandem like this would have no trouble keeping up. Why is the problem? Well, there's obviously a problem if we're not actually making green circuits. You know, that's a thing. And that's because we didn't have iron coming in. And we have the exact same iron setup, don't we? No, we don't. We actually only have 100 iron here. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We are going to extend the iron on all of these to 200. Because I have 200 in the other ones. It's just I have 2 inserters pulling 200. I feel like these guys should have 200 as well. Just judging by the fact that they're dying. That is, the green circuit production is dying midway through. There we go. And yeah, these 2 red inserters, even when this is producing at high speed, doesn't quite look like it keeps up enough to keep these running at full bore. And that's a little irritating. I might have to make adjustments to this to keep these running a little bit better. So this is not producing as fast as it can right now by any stretch. And we are producing 250 of them. We were producing 118 before, and we're producing over 250 of them right now. So this is a significant increase. This is 10 of these factories. We had, what, 16 of them without any modules or beacons or anything before. So this is a major increase. Our power situation is actually very low usage at the moment. Why? Because I don't have 700 megawatts of robot power going anymore. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to have to tweak a few things to make this a little bit more consistent. But all things considered, I'm pretty happy with that. These guys are also starved. What are they starved for? Plastic. Of course they are. 100 plastic. Have we eaten all the plastic, or do we have it? It looks like we've actually eaten all of the plastic. Let's just take a quick peek. If we come here and look up plastic. Yeah. We've actually eaten all the plastic. That's why those guys aren't working. So, holy crap. Holy crap. Are you all working at full speed right now? You are indeed all currently working at full speed, so I'm not supplying enough plastic. And that was to be expected. This is going to destroy my petroleum if I do this. Like, I will not be making enough petrol to do this. Well, I will be right now, because I'm not doing anything with the batteries. So let's go ahead and speed module these guys for the time being, just to get me a little bit more plastic coming off the line. And, yeah, holy crap. Well, that was a significant increase in productivity, at least. We're definitely getting more stuff for the resources we invest now, one way or the other. Like the fact that we're using productivity modules, these give a total of, what, 40% productivity. So we're getting 40% more for the resources that we invest into circuits right now. So this is our first step towards late game. Well, no, sorry, the first step towards late game was the smelteries. This is the next step towards late game. Yeah, why are the bots? How many are in use? Well, I still have almost 9,000. Okay, so there's actually not very many in use. It looks like there's a giant cloud of them, but I guess there's not. Like, what are these guys doing? They're in a robo network. What are they doing? They're waiting to charge, are they not? Why you wait so long, bots? Why you wait so long? Yeah, I think they're just waiting to charge is all this is. I see bots here that should be charging, but it's like they're not. Unless other ones, well, these ones are, so I trust these ones are charging. If they're not, we'll find out about it. Hear that, bots? We'll find out about it. You look like you're in the same spot you've been this whole time, but that could just be because there's so many of you. But you know what we could do to fix that? We could... This should cause you to recalculate where you're supposed to charge. It didn't. So that script obviously didn't work. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Don't care. We'll deal with that if it becomes an issue. If that cloud just stays there doing nothing, we'll deal with that situation. For now, it looks like we are up and running with our beaconed moduled logistics circuits build for the time being. And this, again, will be expanded. We're going to expand the greens deeper, the reds deeper, although I'm going to need more plastic, and the blues wider. We're not producing at capacity on blues or reds, and we produced 550 reds. We were producing like 800 before, right? 5.6 thousand greens, but we were producing well in excess of that before, and we could do even more now because there are green factories here on the blues as well. So every blue factory has a green factory as well. This exact same one, in fact, except... Okay, no, not quite the exact same. It only has one iron input instead of two. But yeah, we got a lot of factories that just aren't working here, and we're producing the same that we were before. So we have much higher throughput potential on green circuits. We can get there on red circuits, and blue circuits are way higher, but possibly more importantly, we are saving 40% resources overall off of every one of these things that we build, which is absolutely amazing sauce. God, I love productivity modules. Okay. Shit, you know what? This is actually a different power grid. That's why. That's why we're not drawing any power. Are the smeltery... Can the smelteries work? No. Okay, check that shit out. This is why we're having problems right there. See the smelteries? I separated the nuclear power and steam power, which is this, Apparently we're only making 50 megawatts off the nukes. I'm gonna have to look into that. And the solar. They just got completely separated. So to that end, let's reconnect these guys real quick. And let's do it down over here, out of the nuclear line, perhaps. And let's just connect you up into here. So now this, yeah, there we go. That's a little bit closer to what you should be. But the nuclear power, why were you not generating much power? Everything is connected. All the turbines are connected. We should have available performance on everything. It should be able to run this. Neighbor bonus 100%. Should be fine. They didn't rebalance it. There was a patch to Factorio, which does a whole bunch of weird things. Like it adds a notifier. Let's put down a logistics chest real quick. Check this out. This is Factorio Vanilla. It adds a notifier when you're out of logistics range on an item, which is cool, I suppose. But there was a patch that added a whole bunch of stuff like that. But I mean, damn. It's just Stacker, right? Stacker and at my station. Looks like it. Okay. Alright, well, we are just hammering the shit out of circuits now. And this is going to allow us to build more modules more quicker. Oh yeah, check that out. Yeah, we're filling the plastic up now. I mean, we're probably devouring petroleum like none other right now as well. If we were making batteries hardcore as well, we would be completely out skis of petroleum. In fact, we probably should make some batteries. Let's drop a passive provider storehouse down over here, just like this, and we will limit it to like one row of batteries. And this is yellow. Yeah, this is yellow. Let's insert into there so that the bots can access some batteries if they need them, which they do because we're trying to build more accumulators. So if I need more power, I definitely need these accumulators building. How many do I have in there? 217. I have enough for 2 more panels again. And I just recently built 2 more panels, and 2 more panels when you saw me. So we're definitely getting our power built up. Okay. I think that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Next time, we'll get our gear wheels, I guess, built, because we're going to need them. And also fine-tune a few of these systems that we've recently built a little bit more, because once they went into like full-scale production here, I can see a few issues that I want to tweak. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again next time.